Hello boys, welcome back to another session of video tutorials, and this session is meant for class 11th biology students, and this is for 9th February 2021. As we are into the revision mode, and this time around we are revising the entire syllabus in the form of CBSE sample paper. And yesterday's session I had given you the questions of section A, and today's session I'm going to give you solutions for that. And as I advised you, keep a separate notebook for this so that it will be very handy during your exams time. And now that there's a good news that you are coming back to school, so it is always better you keep a separate notebook for this. With that in mind, section A, I'm going to give you answers now. You may recollect the questions. So you write in your notebook question and below that answer. Question 1. The concept of new systematics was developed by which scientist? Answer: Julian Huxley. In 1940 was a scientist who developed the concept of new systematics. Question 2. Name the different cell junctions found in tissues. Different cell junctions found in tissues are tight junctions, gap junctions, adhering junctions. Question 3. Why is cycas called as living fossil? Cycas is a living representative of once a large group of gymnosperms which has become largely extinct. That's why it is living fossil. Question 4. Define sliding filament theory of muscle contraction. Sliding filament theory of muscle contraction. Mechanism of muscle contraction is best explained by the sliding filament theory, which states that contraction of muscle fiber takes place by the sliding of the thin filaments over thick filaments. Question 5. Define epiphyllous arrangement of stamens. Answer: when stamens are attached to perianth, we write P, no? It is called epiphyllous arrangement, one over the other. Question 6. What is the function of columnar epithelium? Columnar epithelium facilitates secretion, absorption, movement of particles or mucus. Okay, secretion of mucus. This is function of columnar epithelium. 7th. During which phase of mitotic cell division chromosomes get separated? When we say chromosomes get separated, naturally it is anaphase. During anaphase of mitotic cell division, chromosomes get separated because they move north pole and south pole along with the spindle fiber. Question 8. Define cellular respiration. Cellular respiration involves oxidation of glucose to produce 36 ATPs energy, trapping of that energy and utilization of that energy. All of this happens inside a cell. And the equation is glucose C6H12O6 plus 6O2 giving rise to 6CO2 plus 6H2O byproducts, and the 36 ATP is converted to 674 kilocalories of energy. 674. Question 9. Mention the difference between hypothyroidism and hyperthyroidism. Hypo is low. Hypothyroidism is low secretion of thyroxine hormone by the thyroid gland. Hyper is higher, is over secretion of thyroid hormones. It occurs due to low or hyperactivity of thyroid gland, and both hypo as well as hyper will have its own effect on our body. Question 10. Sort the following into actively or passively transported substances during reabsorption of glomerular filtration rate, GFR. Glucose, amino acids, nitrogenous base, sodium plus and water. The substances like glucose, amino acids, Na plus, etc. in the filtrate are reabsorbed. Remember the diagram, nephron diagram, selective reabsorption. whereas the nitrogenous phase are absorbed by passive transport. So one is the active transport, another is the passive. Active means we are spending energy, passive means without spending of energy. Question 11, assertion and reasoning. Assertion, of course, the A is the answer. Assertion and reason both are correct statements, and reason is correct explanation for assertion. Explanation: archaebacteria are special bacteria as they live in some of the harshest habitats such as extreme salty areas, halophiles, hot springs, thermoacidophiles, and marshy areas, methanogens. They have different cell wall structure other than bacteria, having protein and non-cellulosic polysaccharide in their cell walls, which is responsible for their survival in extreme conditions. And question 11 has got a choice, and the choice question is about the parasites, and the answer for this again is A. Assertion and reason both are correct statements, and reason is correct explanation for assertion. What is that explanation? Albigo parasitizes several annual crucifers such as Cypsella bursa, pastoris, Lepidium, Brassica campestris, Raphanus sativus, and many other cruciferous weeds. The disease appears on the leaves and stems and does not attack the roots. This disease causes deformation of flowers and fruits of the host. Now question 12, again assertion reasoning. This is something about the carbon dioxide's analysis of this, and this comes under biomolecules. C is the correct answer. Assertion is correct statement, but reason is wrong statement. Explanation: assertion is true, but reason is wrong. What is that assertion? Question number 12. Assertion is, if the tissue is fully burnt, all the carbon compounds are oxidized to gaseous forms like CO2, water vapor, and are removed, and remaining is called ash. Assertion is correct, but reason is wrong. Reason: analysis of compounds present in ash gives an idea of the kind of organic and inorganic constituents present in living tissues. That is wrong. It may not be always true. That too, both organic and inorganic, right? Question number 13. Again, it is about lipids, oligosaccharides. Answer is C. Assertion is correct, but reason is wrong. Assertion, what is the assertion? Lipids present in the outer and inner side of the bilayer membrane are mostly the same. Why reason wrong? Oligosaccharides are attached to external surface as well as internal surface of the biomembrane. This is wrong. Question number 14. Again, assertion, reason. The answer is A. Assertion and reason both are correct, and reason is correct explanation of assertion. What is that question 14? The movement of air into and out of the lungs is carried out by creating pressure gradient between the lungs and the atmosphere. Correct statement. Reason: the diaphragm and specialized set of muscles, okay, chest muscles, external and internal intercostal muscles between the ribs help in generation of such gradients. Correct. So both are correct, and reason is the correct explanation for assertion. Now comes the case study type question, new pattern of question for your batch. So there is a paragraph about prokaryotic cells, and below that there are 5 questions. So for question 1, which is the outermost layer of the cell envelope in prokaryotes? Of course, you know the cell envelope in prokaryotes consists of tightly bound 3-layered structure. That is, the outermost glycocalyx, followed by the cell wall and then plasma membrane. So answer is A, glycocalyx. B, bacteria can be classified into 2 groups on the basis of differences in the cell envelopes and the manner in which they respond to staining procedure. Staining means coloring procedure developed by gram positive, gram negative. These bacteria that take up the gram stain are gram positive, as I said, And those bacteria that don't take up any color, they are called gram-negative bacteria. So there are two. Question 3. A special membrane structure called mesosome, answer is mesosome, that is C, is formed by the extensions of plasma membrane into the prokaryotic cell. Question 4, the answer is D, fimbriae. The fimbriae are small bristle-like fibers sprouting out of the cell. Now question 5th, assertion reasoning, that is glycocalyx is the cell envelope of prokaryotes, differs in composition and thickness among different bacteria. It could be loose sheath called the slime layer in some, while in others it may be thick and tough called the capsule. Hence, assertion statement is true, but reason is false. So the answer has to be C. Now come to the last question. Again, one more paragraph. It is about the structure of our respiratory system. As usual, 5 questions. You need to answer 4. However, I am giving answers for all the 5. Question 1, 16. On average, a healthy human breathes about 12 to 16 times per minute. And this is answer A. And question 2. Air is sucked into the lungs by, when we breathe in, the ribs are lifted up, and as a result, diaphragm flattens, which increases the size of the chest cavity. Because of this, air is sucked into the lungs and fills the expanded alveoli. So answer has to be D. Question 3. What term is used for the volume of air inspired or expired during normal respiration? Volume of air inspired or expired during normal respiration is called TV. All of us know it, tidal volume. Now, A, that is answer. Question 4. The residual volume of air is, of course, already we know, we discussed this in our normal tutorials, 1100 to 1200 ml. Answer D. Now, diagram based question, question number 15. The following statements are drawn as conclusions for the image shown. 2 diagrams are there. And the correct answer is D. What is that D? 1 and 3 are true. That is the 1 and 3. The movement of air into and out of the lungs is carried out by creating a pressure gradient between the lungs and the atmosphere. Inspiration can occur if the pressure within the lungs, intrapulmonary pressure, is less than atmospheric pressure. The diagram and a specialized set of muscles, that is external and internal intercostal muscles between the ribs, help in the generation of pressure gradient. Inspiration is initiated by the contraction of the diaphragm, which increases the volume of thoracic chamber into anterior-posterior axis. Hence, statement 1 and 3 are true. So, this is how you need to answer to a specific question in the form of specific points. Do not write any stories. You must write answer to the point. Right? So, this is how in section A you got plenty of chances to score 22 out of 22. This is a major contributor for your marks. Right? Do not neglect.